Breaking news! Bitcoin is still trading sideways. That's it for me, bye-bye. But also, Bitcoin currently tests an absolutely make-or-break battle zone that will surely change everything. With only mere hours to go until yet another weekly candle opens for Bitcoin. Will Bitcoin yet again maintain the $30,000 level and avert catastrophic dumpiness? Confirmed. And huge news from Ricardo Salinas. After this video, you're gonna be begging your doctor for a colonoscopy. I'm your host, Sean Scissor Me Sideways, and today is an absolutely very big day as we're getting yet another weekly close in just mere moments. And guys, this is absolutely huge. After trading sideways for weeks and weeks and weeks, and after a predicted dump this weekend by many people across the crypto space, Bitcoin has held and maintained the $30,000 level. But what happens next will surely leave you gasping for air. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. And without any further ado, let's dump in. Wow, so if we start off here, guys, Ricardo Salinas, absolutely huge. The third richest person in Mexico here, doubled down on his sentiment today, calling Bitcoin the new gold while touting its portability. And this is just continued adoption, continued bullish fundamental news for Bitcoin, even though I would argue maybe the only short-term bearish but long-term ultra bullish is obviously the miners shutting down in China, just being migrated, just being moved around. Short-term, obviously the hash rate is declining and it's causing a little bit of FUD in the short term, but long term it's very good. Probably one of the biggest critiques of Bitcoin that actually has some merit, okay, is actually a bunch of mining being concentrated in China. So in my opinion, the less concentration we have in China and the more, diversified, the more decentralized it is, the better. Obviously, that's not like a groundbreaking thing to say. I think the whole narrative of Bitcoin hurting the environment is silly, but I think the narrative of too much centralization or too much mining power in China, I feel like that's always been kind of an actual valid critique of Bitcoin. Actually, yeah, it is a valid critique of Bitcoin. It is something that Bitcoin you could point to and say, that's actually not very good, having, 60% of the mining in China. That's not good. So the fact we have that kind of changing over the foreseeable future, I think is going to be good. In the short term, it has kind of, I think, hindered Bitcoin's price, but long term, it's a very good thing for Bitcoin. So pretty much long term, fundamentally, everything is very bullish for Bitcoin. But Ricardo Salinas here has been very bullish on Bitcoin. He's worth $15.8 billion. He runs TV Azteca, Mexico's #2 television broadcaster, and a lot of other stuff. So he's bullish on Bitcoin. He announced last year he has 10% of his liquid portfolio in Bitcoin. And again, guys, this is just more and more fundamentally bullish news for Bitcoin moving forward, calling fiat a fraud or saying fiat is fraud. Absolutely it is. It's backed by nothing. If you think magic internet beans are baloney like Bitcoin, then what do you think about fiat, which is literally based, it's worse than monopoly money. Oh, so if we take a look here on Bitcoin's daily chart, we are within still this descending channel here for the past month and a half, and we are coming up on another short-term resistance here for Bitcoin. So far, though, I mean, we did maintain a higher low on the 26th yesterday after the big dumpiness on June 22nd. But yeah, obviously, weekly chart, Bitcoin is going to be getting a weekly close in just mere moments here. So that'll be very good for Bitcoin if we maintain 30K again. Again, personally, I don't see us really dipping much lower than we've already dipped. If we do, it would be very short term, I think. I think, again, the bottom is still basically where we've hit, right around 30K. That's still my opinion. But my opinion also for the past month and a half is that this whole time is going to be sideways. It's going to be boring, tedious. And clearly that is the case. A lot of people have lost interest temporarily in Bitcoin over the past few weeks. It's reflected in engagement. Every channel on YouTube, all the people that were getting 250,000 views per video or like even below 100K right now. So people are just kind of waiting for Bitcoin to make a move. And again, this is just one of those opportunities that I think a lot of people have been asking for. We're being given it, right? Everyone wanted to buy Bitcoin at 60,000, but then Bitcoin at 30,000, all of a sudden nobody wants to buy it. That's why people don't make money. That's why people completely, always, consistently miss out on opportunities, because they only buy when everyone wants to buy. They don't buy when people don't want to buy, which is the smart move. But if we go to the 6-hour chart, there's kind of been 5 key ranges that Bitcoin has been battling. One right around 30,000 exactly. Then we have the $32,000 to $33,000 range, 36 to 37 is that next massive range. Obviously 40K to 41 is huge. And then above that, 46,000. So those are the 5 massive levels of resistance and support that I think are just the absolutely most important. And these even date back further than this last drop. 40K or 46K is a long-term support that is now going to be probably pretty strong resistance. And then we also have all these levels going back to even January of this year as well. But currently Bitcoin is just right now holding support on the second level in between 32 to 33,000 after briefly going below it and even touching a little bit down here on the 22nd. This is the May 19th drop. Overall, this $29,000 to $30,000 range has not been traded at very long. It's been very, very quick to bounce every time it goes there. 30K has been, 32 to 33 has been pretty important. By far the most important is like 35 to 37,000, which Bitcoin has been trading the most of the last month and a half. Kind of right in here, you can see all of this. It's just kind of been the center point of this move in between the two massive levels, 40K and 30K. Below 30K is very bearish. Above 40K is very bullish. And for the past month and a half, we've been only in between 40 and 30K for 99% of the time. Currently, though, we do have a chance as we're battling this 21 moving average on the 6-hour chart. Breaking back above that, 35 is going to be a big test, but breaking 35 doesn't really mean too much because 36 to 37 is a pretty strong area of resistance. And again, that is why we've been just trading sideways so much, because every time Bitcoin breaks to a certain level down, cannot hold there because there's pretty good support, and every time it tries to break up, it cannot really keep breaking up because there's just so much resistance above it that, after it tries its hardest, it usually just gets pushed back down because, again, this is just such a big area of support and resistance that has been built up for Bitcoin, and it's going to keep taking a lot of time to break it. So as I said a couple of days ago, I still think we have minimum like 2 to 3 weeks of sideways trading here, and I still think that to be the case. We've been bouncing on some very important key Fibonacci levels, which is good. Everything, in that sense has been pretty good for Bitcoin. But again, this is a pretty big one here, 33.5-ish. Currently where we just got rejected just a few minutes ago. But as well, 30K has kind of been the big test. I mean, at this point, again, it's the same narrative. Bears and bulls kind of going at it, and the bears and bulls both kind of no momentum, and that's why we're stuck here. We do notice, and I saw other people cover this as well, we did see, after we talked about this massive one-day increase in shorts, I mean, they've pretty much come down almost completely. So what does that mean for the price? Does this mean the Bitfinex whales are no longer shorting Bitcoin's price, or they don't think it's going to keep going lower? I personally think that this weekend was a great opportunity if they were going to dump it, and we saw what happened. We got a nice move down to right exactly 30K, and then we bounced back up. I mean, over the last 2 days, we're up over 10%, and over the last week, we're up over 17%. So yeah, I mean, the momentum to the downside, I just don't think, at least at this very second, the bears just don't have the momentum to push Bitcoin and keep it below 30K, because they've pushed Bitcoin below 30K a handful of times in the past month and a half, but it is so short-lived. And that's it's not necessarily a bullish indicator, but it's a very strong indication that the bears, I mean, it takes them all that effort just to slightly get it below 30K, and then it just does not remain there. So whatever happens over the next few weeks, I personally still think that even if we do get pushed below 30K again, it's not going to stay there very long. And all I think is happening here is we're really just cementing 30K as a long-term support. I think there are just too many buyers at this level and too many holders. I just think that Bitcoin is really too bullish to stay below 30K very long. Can it get pushed below it? Absolutely. But the key is staying there. Like, the key is time. Time in the market is absolutely just as important as what price levels we actually hit. Well, so if you guys new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Make sure you get your hardware wallets, learn TA, trading, whatever you're interested in, bonuses for just altcoins and everything like that in the comments in the description below. And yeah, without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.